Welcome to the Prophecy Club, an unusual title today. It may not happen, but then again, it may. What am I talking about? Has the great fall of the dollar arrived? Now, as you recall, Shane Warren was one of the first ones way back in 2010 that told us that the dollar is going to fall. There's going to be a financial storm. Since then, Coverstone and many others have talked about this. I've covered that so many times. You probably don't want me to cover it again, but probably what you do want to know is maybe some signs that tells us when, and unfortunately, these signs may be saying it's very close. Now, before I get into it, we're almost there. September 11 through 14 is our Prophecy, Healing, and Deliverance Conference. Look, we're probably only going to have this conference this year, and right now, I don't see a conference coming next year either. I don't see us probably doing any more conferences until the judgment hits, and then we're going to see great miracles, and it's going to be really, really busy from there on out. So, I encourage you to come to the Prophecy, Healing, Deliverance Conference. I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Aren't you going to be live streaming it? Actually, no, we're not, for several different reasons, and most of them are technical reasons. But the point is, if you want to be a part of it, you need to be there. It's not too late. Go to prophecyclub.com and sign up. If you want to see it, but you can't make it, then we're going to make it available at watchprophecyclub.com the following day, meaning whatever's recorded on, say, Thursday will be posted on Friday at Watch Prophecy Club. But here's the problem. Somebody praying for you on TV or radio, is that the same as having hands laid on you? Is that the same as getting oil anointed on you? Is that the same as 2 or 3 or maybe 4 or 5 people laying hands on you? No, it's not. That's the reason you want to come to the Prophecy, Healing, Deliverance Conference. Now, this is a short version, but essentially we're going to have 6 ministers. This tells you can pause and look at the different titles there, the different things we're talking about. I think it's going to be an awesome conference. And I encourage you to go to prophecyclub.com, get signed up. When you go there, this is what it's going to look like. It's September 11, 12, 13, and 14. Now, as I'm recording this is September 1. By the time you watch this, you're looking at 9 or 10 days. Some of you might not be able to drive. Some of you might need to buy some airline tickets. The closer you get to an event, the more the airline ticket costs. So it's only going to cost you more the longer you wait. So I encourage you to come. Love to meet you. Love to introduce you to Leslie and the rest of our ministry team. Come and see the Spirit of Prophecy Church and what we do and what we're all about. Again, September 11, 12, 13, and 14. Get signed up at prophecyclub.com. Okay, here we go. You've probably heard these old sayings, but it fits with what we're going to be talking today. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Let me say it again. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Or 2 men looked out of prison bars. One saw mud, the other saw stars. Meaning, what is about to happen, those people that are prepared are going to be very, very happy. Those people that are uninformed, unprepared, are going to be very, very sad. You remember that the Molochs told Benjamin Fulford, we have ruled this planet for thousands of years, and we'll destroy it rather than give it up. I think they're about to lose control. I think that we're soon to see suitcase nukes go off, just like you're looking behind me. I think a lot of these prophecies could. Now, God has not told me when it's going to start. He not told me it's going to start September, October. It's not. I'm just guessing. I'm like you, doing the best I can, try to bring you my best guesses. Matter of fact, I think if we just had a friend stop by the office today and we had lunch together, and I said, would you like to know my opinion? He said, of course. Okay, well, that's sort of what I do from time to time. I give you my best opinion. I don't have a thus saith the Lord. I can't guarantee this thing's about to start September or October, but for a lot of reasons, and I'm not covering all of those reasons today, but for a lot of reasons, I think we have a very good chance of seeing it in September. For one, the Feast of Trumpets starts September 22, 3, and 4. Depends on when the sun sets and where you're counting it from. But the point is, the Feast of Trumpets. Now, what is the Feast of Trumpets? Well, one, it is a feast day. Now, Leviticus 23:37 says, everything happens, let me get it correct, everything upon his day. Meaning, when the hand of God is going to do something, he does it on his feast days. Now, does that mean anything is going to happen this September 22, 3, and 4? No, not necessarily. But as watchmen, we're watching. So let's watch. Now, on to the next point I want to make. Here's the problem. See, with Trump coming in, everybody is thinking Trump is going to fix everything. And I agree, he is fixing a whole lot. But is he really fixing everything? Well, see, many of the prophecies say that the dollar is going to fall. Oh, that's gone now. Trump is going to fix that. Now, wait a minute. Trump is not in charge of the Federal Reserve. Trump does not print our money. Trump does not control the money around the world. Okay, so if Trump doesn't control it, then who does? That's right. Who got the ownership to the world when Adam and Eve ate the fruit? And that would be Lucifer and his henchmen. Now, we have a lot of prophecies saying the dollar is going to fall. And I'm not covering all of it today, but we've talked about it a lot. And in my opinion, I think we're very, very close. We could see the dollar fall in September, maybe even as soon as September, October. Other people think it's almost for sure this year. I don't know. But I'm going to show you some things today that make us think that it's getting very close. Oh, no, Stan, you don't understand. Trump is going to fix everything. Yeah, well, is that really right? See, because we're almost at war with Mexico and Venezuela. God seems to be aligning the enemies that are going to be attacking and defeating us. No, Stan. Trump is going to fix everything. Wait a minute. Many countries are very angry at America over all of these tariffs. No, you don't understand. Trump is fixing everything. Well, wait a minute. See, we don't need Prophecy Club anymore. We don't need all of these scary prophecies, even if they are of God, because Trump is going to fix everything, right? No. Wait a minute. Something is wrong. What are you talking about? I'm saying something is wrong because in the mouth of two or three prophets or prophecies, the Bible says a thing is established. What am I talking about? Let's look at these prophecies. When you have two people that have had the same dream that don't even know each other, that's credible. The Bible says you can count on it. When you have three, that's even more credibility. But in the case of Suitcase Nukes, we have 38 people that have had dreams, visions, angel visits, all kinds of things. Suitcase Nukes are on the way. Now, you remember, I told you, August 8th, 2015, Saturday night, I said, Lord, I don't have anything to say for the sermon. Tomorrow morning, what he was saying, I heard words. Sitting in this chair, looking at this monitor, I heard audible words. I was awake then as I am right now, and it said, this is the time of miracles. As the judgment hits, so will my miracles. Miracles like no one has seen, going all the way back to Adam and Eve. You tell them, I will never leave them nor forsake them. I'm going to meet the devil inch for inch, step for step, pound for pound. Everything he does, I'm going to meet him. Now, you know I'm telling you the truth when I always tell you exactly the same date. I say exactly the same words in exactly the same order. That's kind of confirmation. 38 Suitcase Nukes, and then we have 17 saying that a meteor, tsunami, and earthquake is going to hit. And probably what is associated with that is because we split Israel. And did you know that the UN right now is just about to force Israel here in the next 14 months to give the Palestinians a state? Well, we'll see. Then we got 17 say a food shortage is coming. 13 say the dollar is going to fall. 8 say massive arrests. And the Jason Meeks dream, which I think is kind of floating to the top to be one of the most important ones, say all of that kind of happens in the same day or on or about the same day. Now, let's go on to today's news. This is Hal Turner. Now, I know I quote him a lot, but the guy's right. And he has some of the most cutting-edge information that relates to Bible prophecy. From all of the things you folks send me in our emails, thank you very much, plus all of the other news sources I reach, this is what I find to be one of the best ones. Headline: The global market stands on the brink of the largest economic crisis in history. He's not a prophecy student. He's not getting this trying to prove Bible prophecy. He's getting this from secular sources. I think in this case, it gives the whole point credibility. So let's look at it. World-renowned financial guru Yakov Goldofsky: The global market stands on the brink of the largest economic crisis in history. At present, U.S. stock prices have reached an absolute historical record high based on average indicators, surpassing even the levels of the most famous bubbles such as the Great Depression of 1929, the pre-crisis peak of 1965, and the dot-com crash of 1999. Currently, market overvaluation is even higher than at those points in essence. You know what he's trying to say? He's trying to say dollar's about to die. Dollar's about to crash. Now, hang on. I've got some good reasons. I think this can be an important program. Look, if you don't want to be standing in some beggar's line someplace, this is a good one to watch. Let's go on. Currently, market overvaluation is even higher than one of these points. The S&P is valued more expensively than anything the world has ever seen in the last 100 years. In other words, it's going to crash, boys. It is going to crash. Our financial sources here in the New York City area note such a gap between the fundamental value of assets and their actual price on the exchange is a direct threat to global financial stability. What does the devil want to do? He wants to kill the dollar, kill our financial exchange system. Why? So he can bring in a new digital exchange system so that he can control, get between the buyer and the seller so that no man might buy or sell, say if he had the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. Let's go on. It gets worse. The moment investors lose confidence or trigger a mass correction, an avalanche-like decline and crash will begin. In other words, there will be a run on the banks, but it'll be in a different way. It's not necessarily, in my opinion, going to be people standing out in line in front of the bank. It's going to be them going to the drive-up windows, going online mostly, trying to clean out their money. But where do they put it? Oh, probably gold and silver. Now, I'm not giving financial advice, but the thing about buying gold and silver is it's best if you get there before the crowd does, because the prices rise quickly. You remember Shane Warne was told, audible voice, silver will skyrocket far more than gold. Let's go on. The moment investors lose confidence or trigger a mass correction, an avalanche-like decline and crash will begin, affecting not only the U.S. stock market, but also all economies dependent upon it. Associated debt and banking crises could lead to large-scale corporate bankruptcies, a real estate collapse, and currency devaluation like we've never seen. Look at, everybody knows that stock market is way, way, way too high. It is ripe. I mean, anybody can see that. The uniqueness of the current situation lies in the fact that no significant bubble of the past has been supported by such massive monetary stimulus and such a prolonged period without correction. Do you believe that the stock market is totally legal and legitimate and above board, above reproach? What about our money system? Do you think that that is above reproach? Or do you think the devil has his hand in all of it? Well, I think the devil has his hand in all of it. Meaning, I think that there are ways to where the stock market can be controlled, going up, going down. The value of the dollar, going up, going down. The value of property, going up, going down. Just about everything else. Look, the devil wants to control everything, okay? Against the backdrop of inflated expectations, here it is, and the global economy's dependence upon American markets, what are the Trump tariffs doing? A potential crash threatens exceptional consequences in terms of severity and duration for what? The entire global system. What did the Genius Act just do? I just explained this to someone. Okay, so let's say this is the dollar. Let's say this is the Genius Act. What the Genius Act did was link the digital currency to the dollar. As a result of that, they can now have a digital global currency. That's what the Genius Act did, in my opinion. And of course, I'm such a financial expert, not. On to the next part. The courts have now positioned the USA to suffer this exact catastrophe. Today, the United States Court of Appeals and Federal Circuit put the entire country on course for this exact thing to take place on or about October the 14th. Here's what happened. The court, a Biden court, of course, ruled erroneously, meaning it's wrong, but nevertheless they still ruled that way, that President Trump does not have the authority to place tariffs on imports using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. But the court utterly ignored the Reciprocal Tariffs Authorization Act, which affords a president exactly that authority, meaning Trump does have the authority to do such as he is doing with the tariffs. But this court has said, no, it's against the Constitution. You can't do that. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that bad times are coming? It could be. Now, remember, Trump is not in charge of the money. So this ruling has set the stage for a refund of all tariffs already paid. In other words, what happens if the Supreme Court said, we're not going to hear it? Then that lower court ruling stands. And Trump, I assume, would lose his authority to change all of the tariffs. Then what would happen? All of the tariff money for the last, 6, 7 years? Who knows, maybe even further back than that, we'd have to refund it. That's what it says. Then the cancellation of all investments in the United States. All those big corporations say they're going to come over here and start investing billions of dollars, building companies, all of that stops. Continuation of the hollowing out of the United States by outflows of money. In other words, the money that we've seen coming into the United States over the last 6, 7 months would now not only stop, but outflow, and an outflow like an avalanche. There's more. Whether the Supreme Court takes the case remains to be seen. They don't have to take it. So what happens if they don't take it? They can simply decline to accept the case, thereby leaving the appeals court decision in place, thereby take effect on October 14th, meaning October 14th, if the Supreme Court won't hear it, all of a sudden, America is in trouble. We're in trouble like we've never been in trouble. All of a sudden, we got to return all of that tariff money. All the money we were going to select or receive from tariffs, now all gone. In the approximate 6 short weeks between today and October 14th, you should make preparation for an economic shock, the likes of which we have never seen. That's what, so look at. I know Trump is going to fix everything, but Trump can't fix this. Trump can't get his fingers around this. This is out of his hands. He can only do so much. Okay, so what are we going to believe? Are we going to believe what the courts say? Are we going to believe what Trump has tried to do? Or are we going to believe God's prophets? Because God's prophets say this, the fall of the dollar is what's coming. You and I both prayed and fasted that God would give us more time, and He has. Many, many times given us more time, but there is a day that judgment arrives. Is September 21, 22, and 23 going to be the day? Is September or October going to be, or is 25 sometime this year going to be the day? It may not happen, but then again, it may. If the court ruling remains in effect, October 14th arrives, causing it to be implemented, markets may tank. If they tank the scale mentioned above, the banks may close, choose to close until things calm down. No money, no ATMs, no credit cards. Cash is king. Those who have it, eat. Those that don't, stand in line begging. Next article. See, a lot of people don't want to think that Trump can really send troops into Chicago or New York or some of the other places. This article answers a big question. Headline, experts. The Insurrection Act gives Trump's power to deploy the Guard. Well, Democrat leaders are arguing, saying that this whole pushing of let's take Chicago. Moving the National Guard in there oversteps the authority of the president. But the Washington Times reported that legal scholars say the Insurrection Act of 1807 does give the president power to deploy troops under certain conditions. Then John Yoo, a law professor at UC Berkeley, explained that Trump invoked his authority to protect federal facilities and personnel, a rationale which has already gone to court, already stood the test of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and as I recall, that's a very liberal court. And if they say, yep, he can send in troops, then pretty much the rest of the world just has to sit back and let him do it. Now, the point is, I want to think that we have more time. I want to think that Trump is going to fix everything. And I can certainly see how he is going to. But I can also certainly see that things outside of his hand, outside of his control, could hit America, and all of a sudden, we're hurting. We're hurting bad. And since if you look behind us, we got lots of prophecies that say these things are coming. I'm not trying to scare you, but what I am trying to say is get prepared. If you can come and see us September 11, 12, 13, 14 in Plano, Texas, the DFW area, if you can come to that meeting, even for part of it, be sure and come. Love to meet you, introduce you to my wife, see our congregation, and get to know us, other than just behind some camera. Come and see us. Come and meet us. We'd love to meet you. If you don't want to lose your life's savings, if you have an IRA or a 401k, the thing to do is call 800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. These folks are Christians, and they specialize in helping people not lose their life savings in the event of a stock market crash and things like that. Look, most of the 401ks, most of the IRAs are in paper, backed by paper, and as Lindsey Williams says, if it's in paper, it's worth the paper it's written on. You can lose it all. 1-800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. Hey, give them a call. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything. See if they can give you some good advice. If you want to be on the end of making money, gold and silver is preserving your money. If you want to be on the end of making money, then you might want to call prophecyclubcrypto.com, or actually go to it, or call that number at the bottom right corner. Ask them about crypto if you're in the position where you can make money. When the suitcase nukes, I didn't say if, I said when the suitcase nukes go off, if you want your car to start, if you want your computers and your refrigerators and things like that, anything with a computer chip to work, you want to have one of these. From EMPShield.com. EMPShield.com. And they have videos up there. It takes about 10 minutes to put on. It's not complicated at all. And if you use the word prophecy, promo code prophecy, you get a $50 discount, and it helps your Prophecy Club.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. The smart choice for savvy investors and preppers alike. With Silver Prepper Bars, you're ready for whatever tomorrow brings. As gold and silver prices continue to surge and top economists predict upcoming shortages, now is the time to secure your precious metals in the form of Prepper Bars, the only bar on the market divisible into 3 sizes for maximum utility. Place your order before supply runs out and prices go up. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Don't leave your future to chance. All payment methods accepted. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now, 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
Okay, the very best offer we have ever had at the Prophecy Club is 40 books for a gift of $100. That is How Pre-Trib Won, Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, God's Warnings to America, Miss the Mark, and The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. I'll explain. As I've said many times, in 2017, I memorized the book of Revelation. I got 30 revelations, 2 visions, and an audible voice. God showed me a secret door, the word first fruits, which is found in Leviticus and also Revelation, that links the feasts to the prophecies of Revelation. And perhaps for the first time, Revelation can be understood. One prophetic word said, there's a lock. I put over a word in the book of Revelation. I'm going to open it to you. It will turn many books written on the end-time message into obsolete books. That's this book. Secondly, I put together a collection of the very best prophecies from 32 years in Bible prophecy: Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldale, Leslie Johnson, Henry Groover, Shane Warren, Terry Bennett, Maurice Sklar, Augusto Perez, Doug Metzger, Bree Keaton, and more in God's Warnings to America. Also, how do you talk to people about the mark of the beast, especially if they worship another god? Well, simple way is give them this book. It's a quick read, takes about 3 hours to read it, but if they'll read 2 or 3 pages, they'll probably read the book, and if they read the book, they will never take the mark of the beast. It explains both the mark of the beast and also the number of the name, and it has these pictures in the book. Finally, How Pre-Trib Won. This book explains the truth about the rapture. It gives 4 foundations for the real truth about the rapture. It also answers 25 pre-trib questions, 1 for $20, each one of these typically, but don't do that. We offer them in shrink-wrap sets. The very best deal is go to prophecyclub.com and get the entire 40-book set for $100. I didn't cover every verse in the book of Daniel, didn't need to. I just covered the verses that has to do with us end-time saints. And it's called Tribulation Secrets in Daniel. 1 for $20, 10 for $30, 20 for $50 at prophecyclub.com.